Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Sridhar Jalapati. I've been in this training industry for more than 15 years, and there are a lot of instances in these 15 years where students have approached me with questions, queries from aptitude from both quantitative and logical reasoning section. So I have named these questions as FAQs by students, and I've prepared a series of videos naming them as part 1, part 2 and so on to clarify these doubts. And these may be useful for all others as well. So let us start with this part 1 where I will be discussing 5 questions in this video. And here is the first one. By the way, these questions are from different areas in aptitude. These are not from one particular topic. So these videos will help you to revise all the topics in aptitude as well. And as usual, if you want to try the question, you can pause the video, you try first and then continue the video to check your solution. So this question is from clocks. Normally we have two major types of questions from clocks. One is when the time is given, how to find the angle between the hands of a clock. The other one, when the angle is given, how to find at what time they make that particular angle. For both the types, we have a popular formula to answer, that is theta is equal to 11m by 2 minus 30h under modulus, where m stands for minutes, h stands for hours. So this formula is useful to answer both the types of questions. But interestingly, here this question is not belong to any of those. It's a special question which you normally don't get to see in any materials or in any training classes. So let's see how to solve this question. We want the 3 minutes space between hour's end and minute's end when the time is between 5 and 6, and you just have to find at what time they maintain that 3 minute space. Now you can see a clock here on the screen, and the time in this clock is 5, so hour's end is pointing 5 and minute's end is pointing 12. Now can you see the difference here? The gap between minute's end and hour's end is 25 minutes space. When the time is 5 o'clock, the gap is 25 minutes space. But here the gap has to be 3 minutes space. That means for that, minute's hand has to gain either 22 minutes or 28 minutes so that the gap will be 3 minutes. Let's see how that can be. Right now the gap is 25. So if minute's hand gain 22 minutes, then 25 minus 22 become 3 minutes space. Or if the minute's hand gain 28 minutes, still 28 minus 25, 3 minutes space. So we have two situations. One is either minute's hand gaining 22 minutes, they maintain a space of 3, or gaining 20 minutes. Let's see how much time that required to gain these minutes. Now pay attention. Right now the time is 5. Let's say in moving from 5 to 6, that is 1 hour space. In that 1 hour, hours and move 5 minutes space. Hours and move 5 minutes space, because from 5 to 6 it's 5 minutes space. Whereas in moving from 5 to 6, minutes and move for the entire thing, minutes and move 60 minutes space. Because if the time has to be from 5 to 6, minutes and has to complete one full cycle, which we call it as 60 minutes. That means minutes and gain 55 minutes for every 60 minutes of time. I repeat, minutes and gain 55 minutes for every 60 minutes of time. Let's see that in detail. As minutes and move 60 minutes in 1 hour, hours and move only 5 minutes. So what is the gain here? 55 minutes. So these 55 minutes are gained for every 1 hour. Since 5 minutes are gained for every 1 hour, in this question to maintain 3 minutes space, minutes hand has to gain either 22 or 28, which we have seen just now. So to gain 22 minutes, how much time minutes hand take? For 55 minutes gain, 60 minutes. For 22, how much? So this will become 60 by 55 into 22. On further simplification, 11 2s, 11 5s, 5 1s, 5 12s, 24 minutes. So minutes and take 24 minutes to gain these 22 minutes space. Therefore answer, when the time is 5:24, the space between minutes and hours and is 3 minutes apart. When the time is 5:24, the space is 3 minutes apart. And we do also have second case. Let's see what is that. Now, for every 55 minutes of gain, it requires 60 minutes. Then to gain 28 minutes, how much time? So it becomes 60 by 55 into 28. 60 by 55 into 28. If I simplify 5 11s, 5 12s, further simplification 28 into 12. 28 tens 280, 28 2s 56, so 336 by 11. And if I simplify this further, 36 by 11, because 11 3 is 33 and then 0 remainder, so 6 remainder, 36 by 11. Right? So therefore answer, when the time is 5:36 by 11, they are 3 minutes apart. We got two situations, that is when the time is 5:24, which we got previously, and when the time is 5:36 by 11, they are 3 minutes apart. Hope you followed. And this is how you can answer all these type of questions. Now in any exam, even if you get this type of question, I mean, people may change the number. We answered for 5 to 6, sometimes they may ask for 6 to 7, or sometimes they may ask for 4 to 5, whatever. And here we want 3 minutes space, sometimes we may be asked to find 4 minutes space, 5 minutes space, whatever, but the procedure is same. Let's move to the next question. Here is the second one. Again, those who want to try the question, pause the video. And this is from boards. A man's speed with current is 15 km per hour and the speed of the current is 2.5 km per hour. The man's speed against the current is. It's not that it is a difficult question, but it is because of the terminology. I have seen a lot of students finding it difficult. First of all, what do you mean by current? Current is flow of water. Flow of water is called current. Or flow of water is also called a stream. Current, stream, both are the same. A man's speed with the current in the sense with flow of water. With flow of water is nothing but downstream. So downstream speed, that is, if man's speed is x, water speed or current speed is y, then downstream speed x plus y is given as 15. Speed of the current, that is y. Speed of the current y is given as 2.5. So if I simplify from this, I will be getting x as 12.5 because x plus 5 is 15, y is 2.5, so x is 12.5. By the way, what is x? X is man's speed in still water. X is man's speed in still water. What do you mean by still water? If there is no effect of water, neither supporting or nor opposing, then man move at 12.5 km per hour. Now what are you asked to find? You are not asked to find man's speed, you are asked to find man's speed against the current. Against the current in the sense upstream. We are asked to find upstream speed, that is x minus y. Here x is man's speed, y is current speed. So 12.5 minus current speed is given as 2.5. So that is 10 km per hour. So it's like we are given with downstream speed x plus y and also y, asked to find x minus y. As I said, it's not a difficult question, but it is all about terminology. With the current, that is downstream, against the current, upstream. By the way, current is nothing but flow of water. Thank you. Let's move to the next one. Next question from this video, question number 3. This is again from clocks. Unique question. I think couple of students have asked me the same question. A watch which gains uniformly is 2 minutes slow at noon on Monday and is 4 minutes 48 seconds fast at 2 p.m. on the following Monday. When was it correct? So these are called losing gaining clocks. To answer all these questions, we have a unique method. That is, normally you will be given with two instances, first slow and then fast, or first fast and then slow. Then rewrite the question. When did you observe the clock for the first time? 12 p.m. Monday. And what was the nature? It was 2 minutes slow, that is -2. In my notation, slow is minus. When did you observe the clock again? Next Monday, 2 p.m. And what is the nature of the clock? it is fast by 4 minutes 48 seconds. Fast in the sense plus 4 minutes 48 seconds is nothing but 48 by 60, that is 4 by 5. If I simplify 12 4s 12 5s, that is 24 by 5 minutes plus, because it is fast. Now initially this clock was 2 minutes slow, now it is 24 by 5 minutes fast. So what is the gain in this gap? That means how much time the clock has gained from -2 to plus 24 by 5. Now normally to find the difference, students try to subtract. No, it is from minus to plus. That means from -2 to 0 in between, and from there again this. So that means the gap between these two is 24 by 5 minus of -2, that is 34 by 5. If I simplify, that is 24 by 5 plus 2, which is 34 by 5 minutes. That means to gain these 34 by 5 minutes, how much time the clock took? From 12 p.m. one Monday to next Monday. From Monday to Monday, it is 7 days into 24 hours plus 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. 2 hours gap. What exactly I am trying to say? Monday 12 p.m. to next Monday 12 p.m. is 7 days plus 2 hours extra, which is this is 168 plus 2, 170 hours. That means to gain 34 by 5 minutes, this clock took 170 hours. Initially by how many minutes this clock is slow? 2 minutes slow. So to gain those 2 minutes, how much time it takes? I repeat, to gain 35 by 4 minutes, 170 hours, that is Monday 12 p.m. to next Monday 2 p.m. Then to gain 2 minutes, how much time it takes? How do we calculate this? 170 by 35 by 4 will come to the numerator into 2. If I simplify this further, 35 ones, 35 5s, 30, this is 34, sorry, 34 by 5, I'm sorry, 34 by 5, 34 by 5, 34 by 5. So if I simplify, 34 ones, 34 5s, 170, then 5 into 5, 20, 5 into 2, 50. So after 50 hours, the clock shows correct time. After 50 hours from Monday 12 p.m., that is the first time. After 50 hours from Monday 12 p.m. 50 hours, I can write it as 48 hours plus 2 hours, 48 plus 2, 48 plus 2, 48 nothing but 2 days. Monday 12 p.m. to 2 days is Wednesday 12 p.m. plus 2 hours, that is at Wednesday 2 p.m. the clock shows the correct time. So this is how we need to answer all these type of questions. Let me tell you once again the method to answer all these questions. You need to rewrite the question. What do you mean by rewrite? When did you observe for the first time? What is the nature? When did you observe the clock for the second time? What is the nature? In these questions, slow is minus, fast is plus. So how many minutes it gained in the gap, and for that how much time it took? So for these many minutes, this much gap, then initially whatever the slow, that is 2 minutes slow, to gain those many minutes, how much time it takes. In this question we got 50 hours. So whatever the 50 hours, you will get answer number that you should be added to the beginning time, that is Monday 12 p.m. Thank you. Let's move to the next one. Here is question number 4 and seems to be a question from time and work. So those who want to try the question, you can pause the video. Here is the question. A and B can complete a work in 18 days and 24 days respectively. After A had worked for 6 days, B joined him and then they completed the whole work. How much should be A share from the total amount of 21,000 paid for the work? So it's like money distribution. Now here, after A had worked for 6 days, B joined. That means initially for 6 days, A worked alone, and work done by A in first 6 days is 1 day 1 by 18, 6 days 6 by 18, that is 1/3. As A alone completed 1/3 of the work, out of the total money 21,000, A deserves 1/3 of the money, which is 7,000 rupees. The remaining 14,000 rupees they have to distribute, and for the remaining money, for the remaining work, since both are working, when both are working together, we should distribute the money in the ratio of their 1 day work, that is 1 by 18 is to 1 by 24. When people work together and complete the work, and to distribute the money whatever they earn, we should follow the money should be distributed in the ratio of their 1 day work. So if I simplify this, LCM 72, this is 4:3. So this 14,000 has to be divided in the ratio 4:3. 4:3 is nothing but total how many parts? 4 plus 3, 7. So if I divide 14,000 into 7 parts, each part 2,000 rupees. In that, A is getting 4 parts. So 4 into 2,000, 8,000 rupees. So total A share is already, as he completed 1/3 of the work, he deserves 1/3 of the money, which is 7,000 rupees plus 8,000. So A total share is 7,000 plus 8,000, which is 15,000 rupees. 15,000 rupees. That is option A. Then what is B share? Remaining 6,000. But we are not asked to find B share. We are asked to find A share. So answer 15,000. I repeat. Initially first 6 days, A alone 1/3 completed. So deserve 1/3 of the money, 7,000. Remaining 14,000 they both distribute in the ratio of their 1-day work. Let's move to the last question from this video. That is from calendars. Which day is 2100 August 15th? This also I have seen students asking me a couple of times, and you will know what is the reason behind asking this question. Again, those who want to try the question, you can pause the video. You are asked to find 2100 August 15th. Now, if you want to answer this question without reference, normally 2100 August 15th we write it as 2000 completed plus 99 completed years, because 2100 is going on, it's not over. So plus 99, and to get August you need to complete January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and you want 50th day of August. I mean, all this is just to make the explanation easy. You don't need to write all these months. If you are good at writing odd days, then straight away you can write and you can skip this test. You can skip this step. Now, in each case we have to find the odd days. These are centuries. If you remember the table 5310, which are the number of odd days in centuries consecutively, in 2000 years you will see 0 odd days, because this is 100, 200, 300, 400. If you keep counting, 2000 occurs here, 0. And these 99 are years. In the gap of 99 years, you need to find how many leap years, how many non-leap years. As leap year occur for every 4 years, if I divide 99 by 4, it goes 24 times, so 24 leap years. Then remaining 99 minus 24, 75 non-leap years. Each leap year 2 odd days, so 24 into 2. Each non-leap year 1 odd day, 75 into 1. So total 123, but odd days cannot be 123 by 7, which is 4. So the number of odd days in 123 days is 4. Reminder, when I divide 123 by 7, reminder 4. Next, January 3, February of 2100. Though 2100 is divisible by 4, but since it is a century is a leap year if it is divisible by 400. Therefore, 2100 is not a leap year, it is non-leap year. So in non-leap year, February has 28 days, so 0 odd days. March 3, April 2, May 3, June 2, July 3. And you want 15 days in August. When I divide 15 by 7, remainder 1. So two things. One, you can add all the odd days, or you can cancel for every 7. You can cancel for every 7. I'm cancelling 4 plus 3, 7. 2 plus 2 plus 3, 7. And 3 plus 3 plus 1, 7. Everything got cancelled. That means odd days 0. And when you get odd days 0, the day is Sunday. Because we say 1 is Monday, 2 Tuesday, 3 Wednesday, 4 Thursday, 5 Friday, 6 Saturday, 0 Sunday. We got 0 here. So 2100 August 15th is Sunday. This is one method of calculating. The other way of calculating this is, first find 2100 August 15th, which you may find easily. And then 2100 August 15th. You can come back to that. Now first, how do you find 2101 August 15th? 2100 completed. And then in 2101, January 3, February 0, March 3, April 2, May 3, June 2, July 3, 15 days of August 1. From the table 5310, 2100 occurs here, so 5 odd days. And then these are all months. So if I can add these, or I can cancel for every 7. Now 3 plus 3 plus 1, 7 cancel. 2 plus 2 plus 3, 7 cancel. So 5 plus 3, 8. Odd days cannot be 8 by 7, 1. So 1 is nothing but Monday. Which is Monday? 2101 August 15th. 2101 August 15th. But we want 2100. Now, from 2101 to 2100, you are going back exactly by 1 year. You are going back exactly by 1 year, and this is a non-leap year travel. As this is a non-leap year travel, in non-leap year we will get one odd day. Since we are going back, we have to subtract that. That is Monday minus 1, Sunday. You can find in this way as well, right? Both will give you the same answer. Previously I found 2100 August 15th straight away, or in this method first I found 2101 August 15th, and then I have come back to this. Since I am coming back, I should subtract the odd days, and this journey is non-leap year journey, so one odd day, and that I have to subtract from the current day. Hope you followed this, and in this way I will be making some videos like part 1, part 2, part 3 with the FAQs by the students. So do watch these students, these will help you. These may be your FAQs as well. So if you like the explanation, then do like my video, subscribe to my channel. For any questions, queries, you can comment in the comment section, and share these videos with as many students as you can. Thank you so much, and I'll be back with